Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are at the next topic, that is we are going to look at two combinations by Mikhail. Mikhail was considered one of the most tactical players. He was most tactical amongst the world champions, at least we would say, and rightly so he is called the master of sacrifice. So we have this position here with white to play. We can see that white is a pawn down, but his f3 rook is already more active than f8. a1 rook is better than a8. Black's c8 bishop is stuck. White is trying to convert the game. We have learned various indicators of attack where we have discussed that number of attackers is to defender decides the fate of the combination. So there are 4 attackers and defender are none. So 4 extra attackers we can count. Partially the queen on e7 can act as a defender. So my suggestion would be try to solve these positions first and then try to compare with the solution. White looks at 2 or 3 very important candidates. See, first is bishop h7 check, most obvious. Second could be rook h3 and third could be the move knight f5, trying to exploit this pin. So of course white must have started with bh7. The point is that bh7, king h7, rook h3 check. See how we are going to use the alter the move order method, which is used by grandmasters very easily. After rook h3 we can see if king comes out to g6, then queen h5 check, king f6 and then rook f1 or rook f3, both mates. But after bh7, king h7, rook h3, kg8 there is a problem. Most people think the move queen h5 wins instantly, but see after f6 at least there is no force win in sight. Maybe black is clearly better also because king is quite safe on the f7 square. So the moves which we used on the first move, the candidates, they come very handy. See, the moves which we discussed on the first candidate, they act as a savior here. See, we can use the move bh7, king h7, rook h3, kg8 and now use the move nf5. See, there is a clever idea. The knight attacks the queen, pawn cannot take the knight, queen would be lost, and if queen comes to f6, then white can perhaps use the move queen h5. That is one of the main points of the combination. Secondly, if queen comes to g5, then also there is a very interesting point. Let's see what. So the game went bishop h7 check, king h7, rook h3 check, kg8, knight f5. After queen f6, as I said, queen h5 and now queen h6 is just met by knight h6. Black went queen g5 in the game and he was surprised to see the move qh5. The point is elegant. If queen takes h5, there is the very strong intermezzo, knight e7 check, king h7, rook h5, checkmates. So called the Anastasia's mate. And after the moves qc7 or qd8, we can look into the line queen h5, f6. Here I like the instant nh6 check. ng7 could also be considered, but see, this is game over. G takes h6 forced, and after queen g6, king h8, rook h6 mates. And if black would have played qc7, then also we could have played qh5, f6, qh7 check, king f7, qg7 check and taken the queen, and black will get mated also very soon. Let's look at the next position now. So we have the second position here. The nature of the position is totally different, but Tal shows his class. He makes a passive sacrifice. This combination is again based on those factors which we discussed several times. White sees some fantastic relationship between the pieces here. We can instantly note the king, the d6 pawn, the bishop and the rook, they all fall on the black squares. The focal point of white's attack is d6. White wants to use qd6. The second factor that he uses is the advanced pawn on the g6 square. And we see that this bishop and the pawn both are defender of the move f6. And this is what the whole crux of this combination is all about. The knight was hanging, but see, white's focus was to promote this g pawn, and white found the very elegant looking f6. The move which looks very difficult at first. The first point, see, if g takes f6, then g7, and after rook g2, white uses the interference theme with bishop g5. And no matter what is done, even if rook e2 is played, white can just queen the pawn, when after rook d2 he has either queen e8 check or just bishop takes d2 and white would win. But the main point of combination should be the move rook e2 instantly. Let's try to calculate a bit further. After f6 rook e2, white had obviously seen fg7. We see that the g pawn queens by force, but first rook takes d2 is there. When rook d2 loses to queen f1, the back rank is weak. But white plays the move bd2, and now see, after the move queen e2 over there, white has the stunning move. See, g7, g8 is coming by force. White has the move kc1, which protects both, and the queen on e2 cannot do much. This is the other main line. See, rook takes e2, f takes g7, rook takes d2, bishop d2. Now it looks as though after the move queen e2, if see rook c1 is played, then after bishop is taken, we see that g8 queen, still there will be two pieces for the rook. But white found the very nice kc1 protecting both the pieces. There is no way to attack any of these, and g8 cannot be controlled. So white won here. Let's look at one more variation. The other variation which makes the tactic work, which didn't happen in the game, the move bishop f6 allows just qd6, it's a double attack. Only move queen c7, and white continues the double attack with qc7 check, kc7, and the very simple bishop f4 check. Let's see. bf6, queen takes d6 check, double attack, qc7, queen takes c7, king takes c7, bishop f4 check, e5, and bishop takes h2. White is just a rook up and should win the game very easily. So we saw totally two different kind of combinations by the same player. I hope you will get something new from these lessons. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.